Jar Oil. The company have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
Excellent jam, Wave.
Yo, apply. Yo, luta do dede. Luta munulo jël moto nga andil ma xaalis. Hello?
Busel mu fine.
What?
Busel mu fine.
Oh, yes!
Wave acts in Gambia. Deposit and withdraw money, pay bills, and buy mobile credit without fees. Transfer money wherever in the country for only 1% fee. At Wave, Busel mu fine. Wave, your money is yours.
Good morning on Wednesday, the 1st of October 2025. It's 8 a.m. in the Gambia and therefore coffee time on West Coast Radio with me, Peter Gomez. We're joined by a fresh face in Gambian politics, Mr. Saikou Sawo, a businessman turned political leader and the founder of the newly launched Golden Era Party. As the political landscape continues to shift, Mr. Sawo steps forward with a bold promise to usher in a new era of leadership, opportunity, and national renewal. But what does the Golden Era Party stand for? Who is it speaking to, and how does it plan to compete in a crowded political field? Well, we can find out now. Welcome to Coffee Time with Peter Gomez, Mr. Sawo.
Yeah, thank you for having me on your platform. It's a pleasure to be here and to speak to the Gambian people.
Tell us a bit about yourself before we start asking questions as to your motivation for stepping into the political fray.
Sure, my name is Saikou Sawo. I'm from Sukuta. I grew up in a family compound with a big extended family. My journey started through education, academics. I graduated from Bakote SOS High School in 2005. I was actually 16 at the time of graduation, and I was the best student at SOS High School at the time, and that gave me the opportunity to get a scholarship for further studies in the US. So that's how I was actually able to leave Gambia and go attend my education. So when I got to the US, I did my bachelor's and master's degree, and of course I'm from a big family, siblings, extended family, relatives. I had to work 2 jobs to make ends meet, take care of the people back home. There's a lot of responsibilities, and I lost my dad 2 years after I got into the US. So it was, I had to take on more responsibility, taking care of the family, making sure they're good, while I was working 2 jobs and also going to school full time. Alhamdulillah, I was able to complete, my bachelor's, and I got straight into my master's program. And I also served in the U.S. Army. It helped, also pay for my education as well, and those additional benefits you get in the Army. So when I finished that, I started working in corporate America. I worked for big tech companies like T-Mobile, Verizon. My career has been great because I quickly climbed up the corporate ladder. I went up to a director level, managing complex projects. These are $200-300 million projects that I oversaw while I was working in corporate America for the department. And then I also after gaining corporate experience, I pivoted and I started my own startup called SBXZ Plus, and we focused on business and technology consulting. So we started from 0 clients, and we were able to scale up to 7-figure revenue within the first 12 months. Oh, wow. So my whole journey was, it was quick. Like I was able to get to where I want to be in a short amount of time because, I left Gambia in 2009, and I was able to, also come back home because I feel like we as Gambians, I'm proud to be a Gambian first of all. I love this country, and I feel like we need more intellectuals to come back home and change the narrative, build up Gambia. That was the reason why I relocated back in Gambia 5 years ago. So when I came back in Gambia, I did make significant investment in real estate, and our flagship company called Mirrored, which is a spa and wellness, and you know, different sectors that I invested in. So when I came back, I did contribute in the local, you know, economy, created jobs. You know, Mirrored alone has, you know, close to 30 full-time employees, and most of our employees are 30 and under. You know, they've gained valuable skill sets. They, you know, I can proudly say most of them today, they can go be business owners and even hire more people. So that's been my journey.
Wow, you've done a lot. And given all that success, you know, as a businessman, yes. I mean, what inspired you to get into politics and you know, start the Golden Era Party, particularly, you know, at this moment in our political history?
Sure. Being in Gambia on the ground, you know, working, building businesses from scratch, trust me, it's not easy. It's a lot of challenges. And there's so many reasons why businesses do fail in the Gambia. There are so many reasons why Gambians don't even have confidence investing in the Gambia. They take those resources to neighboring countries like Senegal, where there's a more stable economy, they have a better GDP, you know, there's higher productivity. And obviously, any businessman will want a return on their investment. So due to those challenges and just looking at how, you know, looking at the gap in the current state in terms of workforce, we have a lot of, you know, employment gap, skill set that are needed. So one thing, the common denominator for me was Gambia has a, you know, a high youth. We have a high percentage of youthful demographic, right? You know, that are 40 and under, 65% of the population. So for me, it's like we need to do better. You know, we can't have national development if we're leaving the youth behind. So that's how the Golden Era came about. Business challenges, cost of living in the Gambia. Most people can't afford, you know, daily expense. And just those challenges, for me, it bothers me. Not just from a business perspective, but I'm a Gambian. I have cousins. They're always calling, asking for help. So why don't we teach them how to fish? You know, instead of just supporting them. We need a self-reliant Gambia, where Gambians can fend for themselves, you know. So that's what inspired me, and my partner as well, Nene, you know, she has the same sentiment and vision. Okay. She also came back, you know, from America. She has a successful home care business in America. She came back. She invested a lot in the Gambian economy. She has employees as well. And then also there's a lot of soft skills that I feel like is missing, that is not being taught. And those soft skills take you a long way as humans, you know, which we, you know, the population, you know, needs. So due to those issues, we decided to come together, because I'm a problem solver. You know, having a consulting company, all we did is solve problems and challenges. This is how I got paid. This is how I made my living. You know, we've worked, when I established the company, we got, you know, contracts, statewide contracts with the state of Louisiana and other, you know, and medium, small, large enterprises. So what I did there was solving problems. Okay. So I told Nene, you know, I'm a problem solver. I don't want to sit on the sideline, otherwise I'm part of the problem. And another reason why I came to Gambia is to solve problems. You know, we're talking about unemployment, but what have I done? What have we done individually to support, you know, to alleviate, you know, unemployment in the Gambia? Create industries, hire people, you know, give them good wage. So I'm an embodiment of that, and Nene is as well. So that's why we came together, and we need a befitting name for the movement. That's why it's called the Golden Era Party.
Yeah, it suggests optimism and transformation.
Exactly.
So what kind of, you know, new era are you promising Gambia?
It's a new dawn. The way things are, you know, we're going to challenge the status quo this time. You know, the typical way of doing things will change. We need more efficiency. We need to be more intentional. We need to build Gambia. We need to train our workforce. 65% of the population are youth, and they don't have the necessary skills to, you know, get jobs. And Gambia doesn't attract high value.
Well, his government could argue and say, well, we have built TVET centers all over the place, technical, vocational education, training centers all over the place. So they're realizing that there was this skills gap, you know, in a human resource base, and they're beginning to fix that problem. They could argue that.
Yes, they could argue that, but why do we still have high unemployment? And then in terms of workforce, there's still a huge gap. You know, they don't have the Gambian youth still need. There's still that huge gap in terms of skills. Not just, you know, skills, practical skills to be able to do their job, but soft skills. You know, punctuality. You know, having good, attitude, customer service on the job. So there's still a lot that needs to be done. And I think for Gambia, we become too complacent when, the administration do the bare minimum. That's not enough. We need more. We need to be more agile. We need to create an ecosystem where we pull in all Gambians along. We empowering Gambians to be in the front lines, and that requires more dedication to the people. And we need to roll out a national agenda plan. Most of the investment I see the government doing is very siloed. So we need a different way of doing things. Make it more national.
And that's what the Golden Era plan is promising.
It's promising.
What are the core values and priorities of Golden Era?
So for the Golden Era, we have what we call the Golden 9 agenda, and the priority involves sectors like agriculture, because food security is a big thing for us. And for agriculture, we need to incorporate technology if we want to make it work. We keep talking about food security, lower cost of living, but prices of food are still high. Gambians can't even afford the pounds nowadays. So we need to make sure we embed technology. We get rid of bribes and corruption. Create a better ecosystem. Like if you look at our farmers today, they still lack. They're not using technology as they should. And we in 2025, we should be able to have system in place where we empowering technology in how we grow our crops. Like there's smart farming nowadays. And precision agriculture. You can use drones and IoT devices. These devices are not hard, to procure. So we need to, have IoT devices that can monitor, like our soil, look at the health and the nutrients that we need. So that way, when we procure fertilizers, we need to use water. We're using the adequate amount. We're not just wasting it. We need to also create a digital system for agriculture that is powered by blockchain technology, because we need to be able, the government needs to be able to kind of stabilize the price. Yes, Gambia is a free market. We want people to get into farming, make money, but we need to create a system where we are also guaranteeing minimum pricing to the end customers. So how do you do that? You have to create a platform, a digital platform that is powered by blockchain technology, where you're connecting the farmers to the buyers, and logistics, e-learning, all that needs to be embedded in the system. So when the farmers grow their crop, buyers can easily, we have to cut out the middlemen, because all they do is exploit the farmers. Sure. We need to create a logistics infrastructure where more Gambians are getting into the logistics, because now the farmers are there, the supplies are there, people are ready to buy, so we need an integrated system. And that's why I'm saying we need to be more intentional and create a national agenda to address issues head on, and not do small siloed programs, because those programs are not integrated enough to solve the core issues at once. So we need to have those systems in place, so where farmers can price, but however we have enough suppliers, like in the supply base, and then they can price their commodities in real time. But then there's that competition, right? Because if all farmers are selling at $10, per kilogram, and then you're selling at 20, obviously something is off. And then most farmers here also lack machineries. So we need to create like a lease program where they can easily lease tractors. And then with using blockchain comes with using AI. You can see, you can track the usage of all this equipment. So this is what I'm saying by being intentional and embedding technology into agriculture and food security. So if we have those systems in place, we're going to have more people into farming. Getting commodities from point A to B won't be an issue, because logistics is embedded. And then we can train our farm. You've used applications. These applications now have e-learning tool within them. Our farmers can learn. We should have community project managers that went to school for agriculture. The farmers are busy working on the farm, and then the community project managers are like the liaison. We can have videos, workshops, that are e-learning tools, in different languages, English, Mandinka, Wolof. So that way we're teaching them new techniques, how to use blockchain technology, how to price their market, how to find buyers, So hotels, even our schools, our kids should be able to have, organic, free lunches. Because now you have vendors that can easily buy the food, and then, so we should be able to be ready for more exports. right? And then we should encourage agribusiness, where people are also adding value. We need a value chain network where, these produce are not just being exported, but we can also turn them into finished goods. So that's where you solve unemployment as well, because now you have industries that are also on the rise. And then, like I said, an integrated system where it's easy to find buyers, it's easy to get these raw materials, turn them into finished goods, create so many jobs. And now we have food security, and you could stabilize prices. So this is what Golden Era Party is envisioning, an intentional way of doing things. We bring in more efficient way of doing things and more transparent. Yeah.
And how do you plan to differentiate Golden Era from the existing parties? I'm sure you know that when it comes to political parties, many people argue we are oversubscribed.
Yes, I agree. I'll be honest. I feel like, the political landscape is saturated. Nene and myself, we're ready to give up our citizenship. So, obviously, if you want to lead in Gambia...
It means that much to you?
Yes, it means that much to me. And I came back to Gambia. When I moved here, my intention wasn't to be in politics. I'm an entrepreneur, and I came here because I wanted to set up multiple businesses in Africa and beyond Africa. In Gambia and beyond, the shores of Gambia. So these are sacrifices we're willing to make. And we are different because we have an established career even before we, started our own businesses. But now we want to solve issues nationally for Gambia. So we're ready to give up our citizenship. We're ready to empower the youth to be self-sufficient, self-reliant. Because the only way we can be great as a country is by empowering our youth, making sure they're ready to take off from where we live in. China, in the 70s, they were not even into manufacturing, but they needed that because they had a growing population, so they needed to be self-reliant. And today, look at China. In terms of technology, agriculture, manufacturing, they're way better than the US. They have the capacity. So when we train in our people, we need to make sure, hey, we're putting them in a position where in the future they can take off, they could be self-reliant, they're more innovative, they're thinking big, the mindset is changing. Like, hey, this is within reach. They can be a Gambian dream. So for us, a lot of people are saying, oh, this is so one thing about the Golden Era Party, we have core values. We are here to serve the people. For us, governance means serving the people.
Yeah, every party
exactly.
the same.
Yes.
We are here because we want to serve the people. The people who are there in government now are not serving the people, so you're speaking their language. So what makes Golden Era stand out? How do you intend, to be different from all the other political parties?
Sure. First, I served in the U.S. Army. There's that discipline. I'm a person that always keep my word as well. And Nene, even before we formed the party, she's passionate. She's empathetic. I've seen what she's done even way before we started the political party. She cares about the people. She's done a lot of philanthropic work. So we embody the same, we want to give back. The reason why we're different is because for Golden Era, we're going to be more action-oriented. And for us, we want Gambians we're going to be accountable to the Gambians. We're going to create transparency. We're going to protect the vulnerable and not, like the situation today. We need justice reform. There's impunity, to the ultra-wealthy, to those powers that be. So we are different because we want to bring a change. We want a different way of thinking.
Okay. And in terms of targets, what's your target demographic? Women, businessmen, since you are in the business sphere, youth?
All of Gambia. We want an inclusive Gambia. We don't care about your tribe. We don't care about your gender. We focus on the youth because 65% of the population is 40 and under. So we need to make sure that audience is targeted. So that way we can have brighter futures. We can have more innovative leaders come. We can have selfless people come and change the narrative in the Gambia. However, we want the whole of Gambia to be involved. If you look at our Golden 9 agenda, we talked about economic diversification, education for the future. We talked about global branding. If you look at Mirrored, when people look at Mirrored, as the company, they're like, wow, is this in Gambia? So this is how we want Gambians to think. When they come to Gambia, they're like, wow, you guys have this in Gambia? We want Gambia to be known. Okay. We talk about governance, energy independence, healthcare. These are all the key agendas we have for Gambia, and we can always do that by getting an inclusive Gambia. We want. Our motto says one nation, one vision, new direction.
Fantastic.
So now we want to carry everybody along.
Which leads me to my next question.
Okay.
What steps are you taking to build grassroots support and national visibility, not just a party that is concentrated in the Greater Banjul area?
Yeah, sure. Right now, we launched our website just 2 days ago, and we've had so many volunteers from all across Gambia, URR, Janjambure, North Bank. People are going online, volunteering, and then we're asking them questions, your name, your number, what matters to you the most. And people are telling us, most of the people, based on the survey we did, on the data we collected, they said the quality of life, the cost of living. So we're not just here to create policies that are not inclusive. We're asking these questions and doing this survey because we want to know what are the key issues that Gambians need addressed the most. Because if we have the opportunity to rule the country, we should have an agenda that prioritizes key issues. So with all these people submitting, questions, volunteering, they're telling us the quality of life, the cost of living. That's why they want change. So that tells you we're intentional about this. We want to know what are the key issues and how we can address them. So we're mobilizing people. We're coming to their community as well. We're getting data, and we're forming an infrastructure where when we're talking to these people, we're able to create policies that addresses their needs. You can't say, hey, you're solving the problems of the youth without the youth being part of the decision-making process.
Sure. Do you plan to contest in the upcoming electoral cycle, and if so, where? Presidential, local government elections, National Assembly elections?
Correct, presidential election.
Presidential election
for the 2026.
You want to be in the ring as early as 2026?
Yes.
Why do you think you have a chance?
I think we have the chance because our agenda stands out. It addresses the core needs of the people, and we're prioritizing based on, like I said, we took surveys. Based on the survey, I feel like the Golden 9 agenda addresses all the key issues we have here in the Gambia. For Gambia to be a stable economy, for foreign investors to have confidence in investing in the Gambia, the core issues we've identified solves all those problems. So we're here to solve the problems of the Gambian people, to make, we need more transparent government. We need independent institutions that are non-partisan to be, to be in charge of fairness, transparency. And when you talk about energy, we want to create a system where we're empowering more, we're looking at solar, we're looking at different ways to create energy, we're looking at green energy, like how to create, like for example, we have a sanitation issue in this country, right? How we dispose of garbage is an issue. We can look at circular economy where we're turning waste into value. We're getting all this trash, keeping our streets clean, planting trees, paving roads, reducing dust. But then you're taking this and you could turn this waste into biofuel. Supply, change it into diesel,
Sure.
Natural gas, right? And then you could also use that natural gas that you're getting from the waste to generate energy.
Okay.
That energy also will reduce the dependency we have today because we're outsourcing our energy elsewhere. So we need to think into that trajectory. So once we're able to solve those energy crises, the cost of electricity will come down, the residents will be happy, more business will come in.
Fantastic. And I hear you mention Nene. You
Yes.
and Nene alone cannot constitute
Yeah.
a party,
Of
but not a
course.
serious one anyway. So how are you recruiting candidates, and how are you building up your team?
Sure, we
When I
have.
say candidates for national elections and local government elections.
Yes, we've based on our core values, vision statement, and the policies we've outlined, we want to attract like-minded people that are visionaries. So we've been recruiting talented individuals that have the experience, expertise, young individuals. We've been working with consultant firms.
Experience in what? In politics? These are people who
contested
elections before?
Yes, some of them have prior political experience. Some of them come from a corporate working background here in the Gambia. So we want like-minded people that have the expertise and capacity to build the Gambia. So we're a party that is open, and we're creating a movement right now. Everybody wants to volunteer, and we're telling people, if you're going to join the party, you have to adhere to the core values, which is we are not attacking the current administration. We don't care. We don't care, but we focus on selling our agenda to the Gambian people, telling them what we can do for them, how we can solve the problems. And these are feasible, outcome-based approach. We're identifying the root causes and helping them solve issues, and we've laser focus on national development. So if
I was going to say time is not on our side.
Okay, so
what challenges have you faced so far in launching the party, or in creating the party? It's not been officially launched yet, has it?
Yeah, not officially launched yet.
So in setting up this party, what are some of the challenges you're facing, and how are you working to overcome them?
In terms of challenges, we've been able to accomplish a lot, within the last 6 weeks. I was able to create the website. We have a team. We're delegating tasks to everybody on the team. And then, for now, Nene and myself are self-funding. And we've done everything to submit our application to IEC. So in terms of, logistics and challenges, not really. And obviously, when we launch, we want more Gambians to be involved. So we're inviting all Gambians. So for now, there hasn't been like significant challenge. We've been, we all have expertise from different backgrounds. So it's like, I'm good at this, you manage that. She's good at what she does, she can manage that. And we're bringing people within the team that come from different, walk of lives that are adding value.
If you run in 2026 and get elected, what would be your priorities? What would be the first things you'd set about doing for Gambians?
First, the quality of life needs to improve. We need better health care. Gambians struggle to have good health care. Food security, the cost of living is high. The surveys we've done shows people are working here, but they can't even afford to live, which is sad. You're going to work every day and you don't even have enough savings to cover for your expense. So Gambians don't even have disposable income. They're not even thinking of savings. It's just hand to mouth. So that's the reason why our youth are going through this perilous journey in the back way. So and I hate when I see Gambians dying. Just recently, a boat capsized in Mauritania, and so many Gambian youth died. I almost cried when I saw those videos. So those are things that I care about, and that could be my brother, my cousin. I've had cousins that didn't make it through the journey. So I'm going to focus on, improving the quality of life, building, state-of-the-art hospitals, getting experts within the Gambia, and even our diaspora brothers and sisters that have the skill set come back home, establishing food security. We can't have food security if we don't have, we're not intentional about building agriculture. Like I said before, we need to use technology to solve a lot of our agricultural problems, create agro-business where people can add value, create mechanism where there's control in prices. The government doesn't dictate the price, but then create mechanism. Like I said, blockchain technology, open the market, create a digital application. Those are the ways you can actually solve food security. Machineries are expensive, right? Leasing track, we can create a leasing program where on the same digital application, farmers can easily lease. And then, you can actually see how many tractors are available online, what you can use, and we can also use AI for preventive maintenance. All these technologies are available today. Why are we not implementing them? Why are we not creating a robust system? So my first thing would be, food security, let the cost of living come down. Sectors like construction, we need more skilled Gambian workers to get into that. We cannot build a nation when we don't have enough carpenters, we don't have enough masons. So we need to train people, create vocational programs. So this would be, my top, because I feel like these are going to be our top priority. Empower Gambians, empower the youth to get into different sectors that we need, identify key areas where there's labor shortage, fix the skills gap. These are all the issues we're going to be addressing in the first 100 days. So we're going to come out rolling. I've done multiple complex projects in the US for big organizations. They have a market capital that is way bigger than Gambia. Sure. Exactly. So that experience is already there. So now I'm bringing like-minded people that are even way smarter than me. We want the best intellectuals to come and fix, and we need to educate Gambia, because change is constant, but accepting change is never an easy thing. So we need to educate Gambians like, hey, the reason why we're doing this is because we want a better system in place. We want we want to see, like for example, in agriculture, we need to be able to see more yield, right, per hectare. That's why we need technology embedded into agriculture. We want transparency in the system. We need to create an independent commission that oversees all the departments. There should be less wastage, less fraud in the, we need a more transparent system. If people want to set up businesses, they can go to a website. We need to have scorecards in place that can measure KPIs. We should give targets to every sector, and measure their performance. We should build metrics into this.
Okay. All right. And just finally,
yes.
Do you have a message for this government? And if yes, what's that message?
For the government, it's time to step up. It's time to step up. We're going to challenge the status quo as well. Like I said earlier, we want a better system in place. We want to alleviate poverty in the Gambia. We want Gambia to be known as one of the best countries in the world, the cleanest countries in the world. So they need to be intentional. They need to solve the current needs of the people, and they should be open to bring in more intellectual Gambians that have the capacity to build. There's a lot of people in the Gambia that are starting businesses, but they can't go far. Just recently, I talked to a 26-year-old gentleman. He started a poultry business, but he can't get chicken feed in the Gambia. He has to import that all the way from Senegal. Chicken feed.
You will change all that?
I will change all that because I know how to. I have the expertise. I come from a consulting background. All I did was solve problems. And I'm going to bring people with the same business acumen, the same intelligence. We need to be intentional. We need to think long term. And we need to have a national agenda where, regardless of the party, we need to have a national agenda when it comes to building roads. Gambia is so small. It's, 3,500 square kilometers can pave the whole of Gambia. We need to have a national agenda plan, create a blueprint where even if one party leaves, the next party that is succeeding in it is continue that agenda, regardless of...
Saikou, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
That's Saikou Sawo. He's the founder of the Golden Era Party.
Jar Oil. The company have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
Excellent jam, Wave.
Yo, apply. Yo, luta do de. Luta mënulo jël moto nga andil ma xaalis. Hello?
Busel mu fine.
What?
Busel mu fine.
Oh, yes!
Wave Acts Gambia. Deposit and withdraw money, pay bills and buy mobile credit without fees. Transfer money wherever in the country for only 1% fee. Ak Wave. Busel mu fine. Wave. Your money is yours.